so I don't have to read comments and be like this in the screen like a crazy person. Okay, so welcome everybody. Welcome to those who are on YouTube. If you guys on YouTube want to come over and join me on Zoom and be more interactive up in this piece, then you totally can do that. Tonight's show is going to be a fun show. We are going to be talking all about past lives. Now, I asked you guys on Facebook, and if you guys don't follow me on Facebook, you totes should. Psychic Jennifer Moran on Facebook, also Psychic Jennifer Moran on Instagram, and Psychic Jen M on Snapchat. Follow me, because I do create individualized content for every single place. I don't just do one thing and share it everywhere. So if you want to get all of this and you don't want to miss out on any of this deliciousness, then you want to follow me on all these different places. But I did ask you guys on my super secret psychic group on Facebook, if you want to be part of that, message me on Facebook and I will include you in that. Basically, I asked you guys, you're my special people. I asked you what show you wanted this week, and I gave you guys a couple of selections, and almost everybody unanimously voted for a past life. It was like the most popular choice. There were other choices that people liked, and don't worry, you guys, I'm totes going to do shows on those as well. But for now, this week is going to be about past lives. So I'm just giving you a couple of minutes for everybody to kind of come in and congregate. So I'm going to have Jen read the comments that you guys are saying so I can answer them. Does my makeup look okay? I put it on in like 5 minutes in the dark. Hopefully it looks decent.
What is up with you putting makeup on in the dark?
I like to challenge myself. I go for the smudgy smolder, and I can do that in the dark.
I'm trying to find your page. Sorry.
So let me ask some questions that you guys can respond to. Question number 1, Uno. Do you guys believe in reincarnation? Do you believe in past lives? Do you believe in that? Do you think that's a thing, or do you think it's just hokey? Question number 2. Have you ever had an experience with a past life regression, or do you have a really strong feeling about past lives? And, let me know that as well, because I'm super, super curious what you guys think about this. And question number 3, what should be question number 3? Question number 3, do you think my new dog is cute? My chair is so squeaky. Later on, I'm going to have one of you on my show. It's going to be Mahima. She is going to join me, and she's going to share her own personal experience with past life regression. And I don't know what this story is going to be about, y'all. So I'm going to be just as kind of surprised as you guys are. But she's going to share a story. And she said she had like 4 or 5 different stories. And I was like, just pick your favorite, and that's what we're going to do.
Stop it.
So we're going to...
Sorry.
That's okay. Don't worry. We're going to do that. I see the comments rolling in.
It says preparing meeting. It's taking a while to get in.
Okay.
They're all fussing.
Sorry, guys. This is just one of those weeks where we're working from home. So, yeah. So
let me try getting off the Wi-Fi. Maybe that will help.
That's probably going to make a big difference, getting off the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi. So I hope you guys are excited. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm selling these bracelets. These are really beautiful chocolate bracelets. Okay. Talked about these in the show in the past. I'm selling those as a link to them on my Instagram. But it's just psychicmoran.com. If you go on there, you can buy those bracelets. So we have a bunch of people in the meeting. I'm so excited. I'm so stoked to see you guys here.
Okay, I don't see any chat.
Okay.
Maybe because I'm new to the situation.
Okay. That's weird. I don't know why you won't be able to see the chat. Did you hit the chat? Oh, you probably did.
I hit chat, and I pulled up all panels and attendees.
Okay, hold on. Let me just say hi again. Sorry, guys. We're having technical difficulties. So let me know if you see that. Jen's going to be reading comments, so I don't have to be like going to the...
See that? No. You put something up there?
I wrote, hi, guys.
Oh, I don't see it. Maybe they see it.
All right.
I don't see
it. And I'll just read the comments. Don't worry about it. You can leave. No, because I feel bad to make you sit here for no reason.
That's hilarious. off you go.
Off you go then. Skedaddle. No, as I just feel bad to make you sit here if you can't see the comments. I feel like I'm keeping you from doing something else. So let's read these comments, everybody. Let's do this.
I mean, I could try to get close to you, like there.
Yeah, you could do that. Do you want to grab the other chair and I'll swing over?
Well, I'm only reading them ever so often, so I'll just gotta.
You don't. Yeah, you could see from. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to.
I know, I can see it from here.
Oh, well, you don't have to stand there.
Jen, I'm fine.
Okay.
Goodness
fine.
gracious.
Read to me, old Swami. Read to me.
Hi, Jen. I don't see anyone else on here. That's.
Yeah.
I can't see who that
That's
is from.
Mahima.
Oh, Mahima, that's right. I'm Lois. Hi. I don't see any other names on Zoom. I like the background screen.
Oh, thank you.
That was from Lois.
Years ago. Thank you, Lois.
Mahima, I think, because the name's kind of cut off. Yes. L-A-Y-A, Alia. Yes. Lois to all panelists. Yes, I believe.
Cool.
Mahima, yes. Alia. Sorry, keep messing that one up. Yes.
Alia.
Alia. I'm gonna keep messing that up forever because I'm horrible at pronouncing.
Okay.
Mahima, yes. Alia.
There you go.
Hello, yes. Lois, I've had past life regressions. Hi, that was you. And then Mahima, why am I always on Zoom alone that I can't see other comments from YouTube? Yeah, I'm confused about that too because I can't see anything.
I can see everything, and you guys should be able. Hold on, let me just check my chat and see that everybody should be able to see everything.
Yeah, it says attendees. Oh, where is it? Oh, chat.
Yeah.
Well, chat just disappeared.
Click on it again.
Okay.
I don't know why you guys can't see it.
It says all panelists, but maybe all panelists and attendees?
Yeah, maybe that's it.
I don't know.
We're trying, guys.
It says allow to chat all panelists and attendees.
Yeah.
It's right there. It's clicked.
I don't know. Hopefully, are any of you seeing the chat? All right. We're going to start. I'm seeing all your comments and I'm reading them out loud, or I'm having somebody read them out loud.
Yeah, poorly, but I'm reading
Either
them.
way, everything that you guys say will be acknowledged. So keep it clean. So, all right. So let's talk about past lives. This is a show.
In Zoom chat, Zoom is not connected to Facebook. I'm sure they can't see mine. Yeah, Zoom isn't connected to Facebook.
No.
Are you not doing a live on there? You're just doing YouTube and.
I'm just doing YouTube and Zoom. But anybody in Zoom should be able to see your comments because they're all in Zoom.
I couldn't see them. Sorry, I'm late. This is from Linda. Sorry, I'm late. I see you on Zoom, girl.
Oh, hey, Linda. Welcome to the party. We're talking about past lives. Welcome. Okay, so here's the thing with past life, you guys. It's one of those things. It's kind of like. It's a religious thing almost because it's one of those things that you can either have faith in, you don't have faith in, but it's hard to like prove and have actual facts about. You can have stories, you can have, how it originated, you can have things like that, but it's hard to like have like a step-by-step, factual situation about it. So it started obviously in the Buddhist religion or Hindu religion, kind of both of those. And it started in the 2nd century. That's when like the first records of reincarnation were developed. And obviously anybody who doesn't know, which I think you guys all know, but anybody who's watching this who doesn't know, reincarnation is when your soul travels from one body to another throughout lifetimes. And I don't know who that was, but she had a gorgeous voice. Like, what did angels? Are angels singing? I'm stunned.
Well, Hallron said hi on YouTube.
Oh, thank you. Hi, honey. So I want to describe it almost to me like this. It reminds me of a butterfly. A butterfly starts out in one life as a caterpillar. And it's this caterpillar, and it has its caterpillar existence. And then it goes into the cocoon and dissolves itself, which is kind of gross to think about, but it dissolves itself and completely transforms into another creature and has a whole nother life. So it's the same creature that just passes from one form to another. That's the best way that I can describe reincarnation. And there's a quote from Albert Einstein that I thought was really interesting when I was researching and discovering all about reincarnation. And he said basically that we're all comprised of energy. We're all energy beings. And energy is not something that can be destroyed, it can just be transferred. So the soul is the energy that lights us up. It's the electricity, it's the energy, it's what we emit, it's what we are. And that when somebody passes, that energy doesn't disappear, it just goes on to another form. So I believe that we pass through several bodies and we pass through several lifetimes, and we're supposed to learn and glean from each lifetime. And so I think eventually, after we go on these journeys and learn and acquire all the knowledge, I'm not sure what the next step is after that, but I definitely believe that we travel and have different experiences throughout time. So for me, I've had a past life reading done on me. And my whole life, I've never liked anything like around my neck. I've never worn chokers. I've never liked turtlenecks. I've never liked anybody touching my neck or like, uh, unless it's a guy kissing my neck. That's cool. That's fine. I'm totally fine with that. But I don't like anybody's hands around my neck. I don't like anything around my neck. My whole life, I've been like that ever since I was little. And I had a past life reading that I was hung at one time in a past life, and that totally made sense. The feeling of being choked and hung, because for me, it's been something that's been following me my whole life. And a lot of times, if you have an aversion to something that's like more than normal from a young age, it's a sign of a past life. A lot of times, you're going to keep repeating the same patterns in your lifetimes until you grow past those patterns and then you go on to a next journey. So that's kind of the purpose of each life, is to learn something, to grow, and to become something better. I don't necessarily feel like every past I don't necessarily every past life, everybody has a different past life experience. And I've done a ton of past life readings in my career, and I've read a lot of people's past lives. And it's funny because you never know what you're going to pick up. And I've read for people that in their past they were horses. I've read for people that were sheep. I've read for girls that were women, or girls that were women, girls that were men. I read for men that were women. And the person who was a sheep was so upset about that. She's like, "What do you mean I was a sheep?" I'm like, "You were a sheep. Blah, blah. What can I tell you?" So I believe that a soul can travel amongst different things. And I also believe that, like, just because you had red hair in one life doesn't mean you're going to have red hair in the next life, in the next life. And we're all different races, we're all different sexes, we're all different creatures. I just think that our soul kind of goes where it needs to go to fulfill its destiny, or to learn the lesson that it needs to learn throughout. I'm just going to check my notes real quick. I did take some notes. A lot of times when I do a show for you guys, I spend a lot of time preparing and like putting together almost like a lesson plan. This show is a little different because there's not a ton of material to teach or to go over. It's more just like we're kind of, what do you call it? We're theorizing about stuff and we're just talking. So,
Okay, so Carol, I'm sorry, Carol, I can see you. What crime did you commit? That's Lois.
I was an assassin.
Failed what, obviously.
I failed. I was a crappy assassin. Got caught. But I was an assassin. That's what I was told. An assassin. So a very bad assassin. But um, what I did research was that a lot of times children between the ages of 3 and 5 have the best kind of nugget of time to remember their past lives. That's when they will start saying things like, "Oh, I remember wearing this kind of clothes," or "I remember having this car, I remember living on this street." And that's like the time, because they're learning to talk, they're learning to process and verbalize, but they're still young enough to have that connection to the divine and that connection to their past memories. I'm going to tell you guys about it. Interesting. There's a lot of cases. If you go on YouTube and look up like past lives, you will find tons of cases of kids remembering stuff. And it's pretty cool. I highly suggest that you do that one afternoon when you're bored. But I'm going to tell you about the most compelling story that I found. And this kid who lives in the Midwest, he lives in Ohio, and he basically had memories of being a woman, being a black woman, and dying in a fire. So he would talk to his mom and say things like, I used to live in Chicago. My name was Pam. I died in a fire. I used to have earrings that look like this. This is where I lived. This is what I worked at. Like he had all these details that he could never know. I mean, he could never know all this different stuff. And he basically talked about how he died, that the hotel that he was in caught fire, he jumped out of a window. Well, his mom was getting like progressively freaked out by all this information, like, where is my baby, like, getting to this? And he was getting sassy with her. He'd be like, well, I'm Pam. Like, I told you that's my name. It's Pam, you know? And so she did some research and she found out that indeed there was a fire in Chicago during the year that he said it was, that it was the hotel, that a woman named Pam died. And she was really kind of getting freaked out by this. So she got Pam's picture and she put it on, like in a book, basically, with a bunch of other black women. And she was like, let me see if he can recognize Pam, or like, maybe, what is this thing? So it was a way for her to test him. And he went right to Pam's picture. She was like, well, were you any of these people? And at this point, I think a psychiatrist was helping her out. You guys can totally check out the story on YouTube. Um, the psychiatrist at this time was helping her kind of get all this and piece it all together. And he went right to Pam's picture. He was like, that's me. That's me. I was Pam. And so there's tons of stories of kids who remember being in World War II. There was one kid who remembered being in old Hollywood. He was a Hollywood agent during the 1920s, and he remembered the street he lived on, and he remembered all these different details. So there's like tons of different interesting details about these kids remembering these things with details that they would have no way of knowing with incredible accuracy. So I feel like that 3 to 5 year window for a child is like their time to remember. Now, I called my mom and I was like, did I ever say anything weird when I was 3 or 5? And she was like, no. And I was like, yeah, I didn't think that she would remember, because I don't know if I did or not myself. But I asked her just in case she would have like a little anecdote that I could like put in here for you guys, but nothing. But like I said, I believe that I've had past lives. I think we've all had past lives. My cat, it sounds like the cat saying help, doesn't it? It sounds like help. So sorry about that, you guys. But basically, so that's the story about past lives. And it's it's a crazy thing to think about, because a lot of times people get very obsessed about a past life, and they'll be like, oh, I used to be Cleopatra, or I used to be, Queen Victoria, or whatever. But like, that was your past life. Even if that was who you used to be, it has nothing really to, like, you can't brag about what Queen Victoria did, because that was like your old life and that was your past. So you just have to learn the lessons and grow from the experience and like become what you're supposed to be. So I don't know if there's anybody.
Linda said, we Buddhists believe that enlightened beings sometimes come through as animals to feed people, etc. They do so for love.
That's really an interesting thought. I didn't know you were Buddhist. That's awesome.
A spider with a top hat. That's all it says. This is his name, and then it says a spider with a top hat.
That's my spider with a top hat.
Over on YouTube.
Hey, spider with a top hat.
I found it weird when I was reading that book, and I couldn't finish reading it, because I never thought I would be someone, or I don't know if it's true or not, but I felt like I was someone famous. I never
has like ridiculous, uncanny connections to Hamilton.
No,
anyway,
I don't want to, because it seems weird. I'm just
anyway,
like,
she has
it was a famous person, and I couldn't get through the novel because I felt it hurt me personally to read about this person.
But it was person's
strange.
Personality and her personality were like the way that they handle things, the way they think. It was just
and
very
I know
weird.
Some people say on past lives certain dates come up in your life that are significant, and it was freaky because some dates that were significant
the dates
for
were matching.
It was weird. It bugged me out too much, and I didn't like the thought of being famous. It seemed weird to me. It seemed stupid too, and I just wasn't into it. It bothered me too much. I preferred to feel more humble. I'd rather it was a bunch of like animals or somebody, nobody, because that seemed more reasonable. That whole famous thing never got me.
Yeah, I was definitely not a famous assassin because I didn't stick around long enough. I got caught.
You got caught. But you were also a noblewoman at one time.
I was a noble woman at one time. How far I've fallen. Far I've fallen. But yeah, so Mahima's gonna come on in a minute, and I'm gonna have to put headset on because I'm gonna have to connect with her and listen to her, and you guys are gonna be able to listen to her as well. I'm just checking my notes to make sure that I covered everything. This is just kind of a weird topic because there's not a ton to talk about. So I do want to say that for a while I didn't believe in like I wasn't sure about like animal, like I knew I've read for people that have been sheep and stuff, but I didn't think that if you had an animal, the animal would come back to you. I don't know why. I just didn't think that. Yeah. But my cat Thomas came back to me Thomas as my cat Michonne. See if we can get Michonne. Oh, my cat Thomas was this extraordinary cat. I loved him so much, and he was so extraordinary. And he just had this personality and this look in his eyes, and just everything about him was just, you know. And those of you who have cats, you know, your cats are just, you're extraordinary. But Thomas was, he had a certain way that he meowed. He had a certain way that he felt, that he smelled, and that he looked. And when I got Michonne, I named her after the character Michonne from The Walking Dead. I was a fan of The Walking Dead.
How she was at McDonald's because the way he climbed us for fast food.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there she
This is Michonne. This is my baby.
Oh,
Michonne.
she's so cuddly.
She's such a teddy bear. But this is the good thing about me doing this at home. You guys get to see cute animals. Anyway, I know 100% that she's Thomas. She sounds like him. She looks like him. Well, she doesn't look like him in the eyes. She looks like him in the eyes.
Well, I mean, they're both tuxedo type. He was a tabby tuxedo, and she's a tuxedo.
I'm going to try to upload some pictures to Facebook later to show you guys.
But yeah, the eyes are very...
Thank you. But she's the eyes. She looks a little paranoid.
I love touching this cat.
She's such a teddy bear. She's such a cuddly teddy bear. I know. She's such a purr machine. But she smells like Thomas, like everything about her. And it made me believe in like pet reincarnation. Ever since then, I believe fully in pet reincarnation. So that was definitely an eye-opener for me. But I'm going to try to connect with Mahima now because Mahima has an interesting story. Do you like these headsets? I just love this.
I think Jack probably is someone we've had before. We just can't figure out which one.
Yeah, the dog Jack that we
because he came right back after we found him. He came back. He ran out of the yard, and then 5 seconds later, he was back. Like, I guess I live here.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the hell? We just met you, dog. That's weird.
He came right back. Yeah, he definitely seems like somebody that's reincarnated, but we can't figure out who he is. But Mahima, I'm going to I'm not sure exactly how to do this with you because I've never had somebody on here before. So we're going to just have to play it by the seat of our pants and figure out how to get you on here. So I think it might be something that you have to do on your end. Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. So I know that I'm just going to put my headset on. So let's see what happens because I really want you to be able to share your story. Let's see. How do I get, maybe if I get to Mahima, where's Mahima?
Do you want me to go in there and help her? Okay.
Okay, here's Mahima.
I got like a dog and a cat and another dog covered in animals. So as I sit on the couch whenever I always get bombarded. Okay.
Okay, so wait, is this Mahima right here?
That's Mahima. I think it's like M-A ...
Oh, no, okay, that doesn't work.
Okay, maybe.
Here's Mahima's down there. I want to see how I can get her to have her voice on here so you guys can hear her story in her own words so she doesn't have to type 975 words.
I think you have to add her as an attendant.
Okay, let's see if we can do that.
Oh my gosh.
We're learning as we're going.
It does.
Pay no attention to the dogs in the background.
Okay, I'm trying to figure it out. I could have sworn we have to add her somehow, but I don't know how. Mute, rename. All right, let's get down here. Oh, invite. Here, try invite.
Okay. No.
By contacts. No, it's in.
Mahima, have you tried to do something? I think that she has to like raise her hand, maybe.
Oh, here she is. Oh, here it is. Allowed to talk.
Okay,
Got
allowed
it.
to talk. Okay,
Got
Mahima,
it. Promote to a panelist. Got it.
There you go.
She's in.
Okay. Mahima, you're in like sin. Can you hear me?
Are you sharing the screen or just?
Mahima, do you want the screen to be shared or just your voice? I don't know. Just do the voice, I guess, because I don't want to bombard her.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you, Mahima.
Okay, so you can put me on the screen.
Okay.
I
Put her on
put
the
makeup
screen.
on,
Okay, let's get the.
Okay, hold on.
but I think you have to do it.
Okay.
I'm trying to like get, like every time I go to this corner, it keeps like not letting me.
Yeah.
Let me try.
The sound came on when you unmuted me, and there's a camera, but I can't uncamera myself.
Okay, I'm trying to do it for you, honey.
Start. I have it on start video.
Do you have it on for her to do?
Yes. See, it won't let me.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder
I'm
why.
trying because she's unmuted.
Okay.
I go to more.
I don't know. Yeah, and you can't click on your own camera?
I'm
No, most
looking.
likely it's on your side, Jen.
All
When
right.
I was on Zoom the other day, the gal that did it, she did it.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to figure it out.
Okay, you guys share screen. Oh, that's obviously.
Yeah, share screen is I think it.
You share screen with.
Sorry, guys. We're trying to figure this out.
Oop, it went away. What happened
I don't know.
here?
Go back to the camera.
Oh, now it looks
What?
way different.
Yeah, it says desktop. Have a nice. Which one?
This one right here.
Stop video.
Oh, no. Hold on.
Says what do you want to share? And I see. I'm sharing the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
Okay, let me
Sorry,
see.
guys.
Options.
Oh my goodness. And there goes the problems. Okay.
Okay, are you seeing my desktop or are you seeing me?
Okay, so whiteboard, Sims. See, this is all they just give me: whiteboard, phone,
Okay.
Sims.
Go click the X.
Okay, I'm out.
Now try to click on this again and see what happens there.
It's showing your desktop on the screen in a little square up to the right.
You guys like my desktop? I drew it myself.
That's
This is funny as heck.
All right. I'm
Okay,
trying
let me
to-
stop the share for a second.
All right, there we go.
Okay. We're back here. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to share your things.
Start only host, all panelists, anyone can share, only host. No, it's all, you're set.
Yeah.
You were set.
Have you tried to click your camera? I'm so sorry.
No, I think it is on, she's right. It's on our side. It's just,
Mm.
when I come here to this little corner, it won't let me do anything.
I'm sorry, Mahima. I'm trying
Loud panel, I guess. Let's try that.
say something.
okay. What can you see me now? That's
No.
oh yeah.
There you
Got
go.
it.
I don't know how it happened.
We got you, girl.
It's not half and half screen. I'm on a little square at the top. We're not side by side.
Oh, that's okay. You're gonna be on the screen while you talk, and I'll be on the screen when I talk. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be side, but yeah.
I don't know.
I'll let you guys continue because I don't know how to. We have
Okay.
to experiment with that one day.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Mahima. Mahima's gonna share her story of past life regression, and I thought this was gonna be really interesting because she's just an interesting person. So you're welcome, everybody.
Thanks, Jen. Great to be here. Although I can't see anybody on here, I'm alone on Zoom. Maybe I think Alea's on Zoom, but I saw a few comments from her.
Yeah,
But-
I can have Jen read comments when they come
Okay,
in.
that's fine. So if they have questions after or whatever. So I'll just kind of do a little intro of my experience with past life regression and
Okay, let's
that.
see.
So
Wait, yeah. The Buddhist. I have makeup on, so you can put me on camera. Okay.
Okay.
I learned regression therapy and have done many past lives on people. That's from Linda.
Oh, okay, cool, Linda. That's awesome. Maybe if you want to come on camera after Mahima, you can share some tips.
Cool.
Okay, Mahima, I'm sorry. Take it away.
Okay. So I read a book years ago because I was interested in it called Many Lives, Many Mansions, I think was the title. And so then I had psychics say, oh, you were this or that, do a reading. But it wasn't like I thought, well, it's like, I don't know. And I had the same thing, Jan, about the throat.
Yeah.
So
We were twin assassins.
yeah, I mean, like I have stuff to wear. I hardly ever wear them. So anyway, yeah. So I was probably hung for, spreading, a witch or something. I don't know. So anyway, I at one point in my life, I had a regression. I've had a number of regressions, and I'll just share this with you. One of the people, this were not just, just some reader or just somebody that knew how to do hypnosis. There was this doctor who he was a therapist, so they called him Dr. Ronald Jew was his name. And he's in the Southern California area, and he's Asian, and he is friends with the Dalai Lama. And I was in a car accident, had a near-death experience, and I needed to have some therapy after that. So I ended up going to him, and we got to be friends. And then I met someone about within the next year, and I was just going, whoa, who is this guy? Why is he here? I feel like I've known him before. So I went to him, and I had a couple of regressions. I'm not going to tell you those stories. I'm going to tell you another one that was not a regression, a direct experience I had. But the bottom line was, if you've ever been regressed by somebody that's a professional, and this guy, the Dalai Lama stayed with him. They're friends. And when the Dalai Lama was there, he got the phone call that he won the Nobel Peace Prize. So
wow.
This guy is very high level, and he was in a high rise in Newport Beach. So I went to him 2 different times to have regressions. And what it was like, I'm not going to tell you what was in it. What it was like is being, I don't know if he counted me down. I can't remember now. It's been so long, but it was like all of a sudden I was in a movie and I saw everything. I didn't have to think anything. And it just went from beginning to end. But I'll tell you on both of them, and I had others too, that I think it's a good thing we don't remember past lives, because neither of the ones that I went 4 times for regression, the other time was with other people, is they were very sad endings. In fact, the person that I went about, I couldn't see him for a week. I felt terrible. It was just not a good thing. But at least I found out why we were probably together. So that's my experience with being regressed. And it was very cool, though, to lay back in this kind of recliner, and then you just kind of go into it almost like a sleep, and then you see a movie. So that's I just wanted to share that if people are, it's not anything to be afraid of, but it's like, for me, it was like seeing a movie. It just started, and then it would have it would just stop. Or if I got too emotional, he brought me out. So go ahead. You have a question, Jen?
Oh, now I was going to say, you just brought up a really interesting point that I forgot to mention, is that a lot of times you will have, not always, but you will have people in your life presently that you've known in the past, and they're brought in for a purpose. And so you may have somebody that you encounter that you just can't stand for some reason, and you don't know why, or you may have somebody that you just feel inexplicably drawn to.
Yeah, on YouTube, what's his name was making some comments about about the past life. When you're ready, I'll read them later.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, when Mahima's finished with her story, you can definitely read comments. But a lot of times, if you feel drawn to somebody, it may be that there's some kind of past life karma or connection that you're trying to finish and trying to connect with. And it may not mean that you necessarily need to be in a relationship with that person or anything, but it just may be some kind of, maybe you need to do them a kindness or help them out somehow, or maybe you just are experiencing something. And a lot of times we have those impulses that are just not, they don't make sense to us. Like, we'll feel like we know somebody even though we've just met them like 2 seconds ago, and that happens, and that's often what the case is. So Mahima, you can continue. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and as you're saying that, the reason I went to the regressions was because one man I was with him for 8 years, but we were about 4 years in. And I just kept feeling these feelings like we've done this before. So I went to someone she was a therapist as well, not just doing past life stuff. And I went, and so every time that I went and was regressed, it was because I had met someone, a man, that I was just like, whoa, I'm either having really strong feelings and I want to know what this is about, or this guy doesn't seem like he's anybody that I would be with. Why am I with him? So that was that. But the one that I'm going to tell you about is a direct experience I had with someone. And I went to a weekend workshop, and it was kind of a new age, sort of, not new age, human potential or whatever. And it was about, being conscious relating and that kind of thing. And there was like 60 people there, and a lot of them I knew. And I was sitting there the first night, and I was talking to some friends, and this man just walked by, and it was like a flash of light. I didn't think anything of it. Later that night, we did a process where you walk around and you mill around in the room, and there's 50 to 60 people. And I saw this guy again. I went, oh, that's that guy that looked like a flash of light. And then and he was really cute, but he was younger. And I'm like, no, I'm not picking him, because let one of these younger gals pick him, And so I just passed him right by. And the next thing I knew, I felt this hand on my arm. And I turned around, and it was him. And it's Michael. I've talked to you about Michael.
Oh, it's so funny when you said that it was Michael, because in my mind, I was like, I bet you this is Michael.
Yes. I don't know if I've ever told you this, what happened.
Yeah, you did.
So through that weekend, he picked me, and we ended up being in this exercise the rest of the night together. And then over the weekend, we spent more time. He took my phone number. He was from Hawaii, so he was only going to be here for about 3 months. And so he invited me to go up to a hot springs and meet up there. That was halfway for us. We met up there, but nothing. We just had a good time. We kind of agreed not to totally have full-on sex, because it was like he's going back to Hawaii and I'm here, and we didn't want to bond. But then he after we got together at the hot springs, he had some time, and he says, how about I come down to your place? We lived about 2 hours from each other. And he said, and we can spend a couple of days together. And I said, great. And so when he got there, he asked me, what do you want to do in our time together? And so we listed some things. And one of them was we would do a session on each other. So I do healing work, energy, body work, as well as counseling. And I've done psychic readings. But he was also a healer, body worker. So he did mine the first day, and I did one on him the second day. So, and we renegotiated that if it felt like we wanted to make love, that we would. So the night before, we had made love. We did make love the night before that I did the session on him. So while he's going to be going back to Hawaii in a month while I'm doing the session, so I'm working on him. And I've had this feeling before when working people, not visions, but like I keep wanting to return to, say, their calf muscle, and I'm just feeling like something there, So as I'm working on Michael, all of a sudden I see like a boat in the water, and it's splintered, and it's this wood, and it's flying all over. And I thought, this doesn't look like a modern day boat, but they do have wood boats still, And I'm like, oh my God, he's going back to Hawaii. And I saw him like drowning, like he could not get up above the boat. And I was like, I had tears, and I'm like, do I tell him this? Because, psychically, Jen, it's like, do we want to tell people, you're probably going to die if you go back to Hawaii? It's like, and I didn't know that for sure. Yeah. So anyway, I'm working on him, and then I felt really sad, and I'm like, what do I do? Okay, I don't need to know right now. Just keep working on him. Then I saw another scene where he was in a wheelchair, and I thought, oh, he just broke his legs. No. But it looked like Victorian England. He had like a burgundy velvet smoking jacket on in a wheelchair. And it was me, but I didn't look like me. And I'm feeding him. And we're in this huge, big house. And then I continued working on him. And then that was it. Okay. So then we were both tired. So let's go take a nap. So we went and laid down. Well, we made love. Okay. So after we finished making love, he's laying there and he's staring up at the ceiling. Now, I didn't tell him any of this. And he goes, I remember you now. I'm getting the chills now. I remember you now. He goes, and I am so, so sorry. And I'm like, what? And he goes, it was England, like Victorian England. And he said, you look just like you do now almost, except for you had strawberry blonde hair. And I was going to go out, I'm still getting chills. And I was going to go out on this fishing boat because there was only one other job he could get in town. We were really poor. And he said, and you begged me because you were psychic and you said, don't go. And you cried and cried and you were holding on to me. And I said, no, I have to go. And he goes, and he started crying. Real life.
Wow.
Now he was crying and he goes, I am so sorry. And I said, I never was mad at you. It was what we were talking about. Like it just happened. I was never mad at you. And he goes, oh, but I always felt so bad about it. We were talking like those characters. And so then he's going, wait, he goes, no, I'm getting something else. He goes, we were living in a big house, like a mansion. And he goes, and I played like polo and I broke both legs and I ended up in a wheelchair and you took care of me. I mean, I was just blown and I lay there. He had to fix dinner. I just like cried because I saw myself on the end of a dock with them in the back. I saw strawberry blonde curly hair and I would go every day. All the other women stopped going. And I went for like 2 or 3 years every day to see if he was coming back. And I would cry and cry. And so I could not function that night, and he made dinner. He was crying too off and on. It was, we were exhausted. We were very exhausted, but I had never had that experience with anyone.
Wow. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I think that is incredible that you guys like had that sinking, not sinking, no pun intended, but that moment where you both were syncing up and you were both remembering and having that conversation at the same time is pretty incredible. So we're just going to take a breather real quick and I'm going to have Jen read any comments that are there.
Okay, so I'll start with YouTube since I'm a little behind on those.
Okay.
All right, so let's see here. Okay, we got Robert, the Spider. I'm not sure, but I have heard we cannot regress to lower forms of consciousness, cat, dog, etc., but only progress. Dates can be very powerful, I agree, but may explain why numbers give strength, agreed. Hallron, I felt that I had a strong connection to the Irish potato famine while watching a BPS station. They began a story about Irish famine memorial, and I began crying for no reason. Spider, I've heard of those connections, amazing, and had a client whose relative knew all about the Vietnam War. The boy was only 9 and had not been exposed to the teachings in depth as he was explaining. My best conclusion is that he came back too quickly. The boy was 9 in 1974.
Yeah.
Would you recommend regression to move through obstacles as primary therapy or after other works have been done, i.e. meditation, chakra, etc.? Personal obstacles I was referring to is confidence, anger, etc. And let me go read the Zoom.
Well,
and that's from the Spider.
Okay. As far as doing a regression, I think that's a sticky situation because when you progress, you could open yourself up to a world of really traumatizing things. The past was a scary, upsetting place. And I think if you're not in a good mind frame to kind of be able to process these things,
Exactly.
it could open you up and give you more anxiety, fear, upset than you really need to have. So I think that getting a past life regression is not a bad thing to do at all. Like I think that someday I'll get one. I mean, I already had one reading from my past life. But I would definitely do it, again, for sure. I think it's a good thing to do because I think it helps kind of fill in the gaps. It helps you understand. I know a lot of times when I read people's past lives, I'll say to them like, oh, you had this past life where, you just really felt like you always had to be responsible for this or that, or you felt like you had to take care of you were the mother, even though your mom died or whatever. And it correlates with where they are now. And it's a part of their lesson that they have to learn because they're not in that dire situation anymore, but they're still operating on that trauma feeling. So it's like understanding that they can release that now because they're not in that life anymore. So I think that it is definitely a good thing to do, but I would wait until you feel a little bit more centered and a little bit more able to process, because you may find out something really upsetting. That's just going to give you anxiety.
Oh, you mean like Hallron with the where you start crying for the potato?
Yeah, the or just dying in some kind of a violent, being attacked by a hippo or something. Some kind of violent death or a fire or something that's just like more
Mihima's putting her
struggle than you need. I'm sorry, Mahima. Did you
Yeah,
want to say something?
I wanted to add to that. The thing when I was regressed and when I was with this young guy, in Laguna Beach, and I just was like, I need to find out why I'm with this guy. I mean, it wasn't a long-term thing, but I needed to understand him.
Yeah.
He actually needed help. And so that's why I went for the regression. And even though it was hard on me and I couldn't really talk to him for about a week, it was like, it so helped me have compassion towards him. And I went, I'm supposed to be with him right now. I know, they say people come into our lives for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. So this was a reason. And it was like, I'm not going to go into what that was about, but it was important that I went. So my intuitive said, go find out,
Yeah.
And it was helpful, even though it was hard, for a few days or whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely good for filling in the gaps. And just, I want to put it out there. Anybody who is dealing with a situation in this life right now where they're feeling stuck or where they're feeling like they can't get past a certain thing, I have the ability to help you with that. I do energy clearing, and I can locate the trapped energy, and I can release it, and we could work together to get that done. If anybody's interested, you can just message me and I'll give you the information about that. But that is something that I'm very fortunately able to do, and it's kind of a miracle that it works really well. I've done a bunch of treatments on different people, and everybody has had really profound results with being able to let go of past trauma that's been holding them back. So if anybody's interested, I just want to put that out there while we're talking about
Yeah,
this.
Linda says, no, not tonight. Thank you for offering, though. I look forward to hearing about other people's experience. Hugs. Yes, it's like seeing a movie, except that you can experience the same feelings you're experiencing in that lifetime.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's true. It's very emotional, and it's.
Oh, Spider says he has to sign off. Love and light. Bless him soul.
Bye, little spider. Fly away. Fly away.
Fly away to a spider.
Or spiders don't fly. I guess glide away on your web then. Dance away with your spider legs. Tap dance. However spiders scurry, I guess. But yeah, so that was really interesting, Mahima. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that. And it was really interesting. It's such an interesting and compelling story to hear tonight. So I don't even know what time it is. We've been so enthralled.
9:58.
Okay, so let's do to wind this night down. I'm gonna put it out there and ask if anybody has any questions that don't even have to do with past life, that have to do with psychic stuff, that have to do with anything that you want to ask me about your personal life. You can go right ahead and ask them right now. And while you do that, I am going to draw something, and then we're going to play a psychic game, and somebody's going to win a free reading. So let's do this.
Is this a number like you did last time?
Nope, it's not. But we're not going to work on that right now. I'm just doing this. I don't know if anybody has any. I don't know if anybody has any questions for me on YouTube or Zoom.
Is Mahima still on? Maybe they have questions for
Or questions for Mahima, if Mahima wants to ask anything or answer anything. But any questions for me or Mahima? Her name is so much fun to say. Mahima!
Mahima!
It just feels good.
You can
whenever
say
I say it, I can feel it in my uterus. Mahima!
Oh my God!
soulful, right?
Oh my God! Yeah, it's like, you can say it with a Spanish kind of flair or Latin.
Yeah.
It's like Mahima. And then I show up and I'm blonde hair, blue eyes, and freckles.
It's true. You don't know, because when you hear the name Mahima, you don't really know what to expect, because your mind can expect a lot of different things.
Well, that sort of fits.
It's just very encompassing. It's a really good name. It's a good name to have. It's just
that is not my real name. I mean, that's not my original name.
No, it's not. You named yourself that. Which
No, I got it. I got it mail order.
You got a mail order. That's funny. Does anybody have any questions?
Not YouTube. Let me see.
Let's see.
Jacqueline Jacob
Talking about the kitty. Let's see the kitty cat. I
You
hear
have a dog
moving.
right underneath
Oh.
here.
Oh, geez. Yeah, she wants. It's Kermit.
I hear you. Oh, it's Kermit.
Listen
Let me go
here.
grab Kermit.
Kermit is a wild force to be reckoned with. I don't know how that's gonna go. I'm a little scared.
Is Kermit a dog?
Kermit's a cat. Kermit the
Oh.
cat. Because I love the Muppets.
Oh my gosh. Oh, he's heavy. He is one fat cat.
He's a fat cat.
Oh my god. Michonne is like like a puffy cutie.
This is Kermit the kitten.
Kermit.
That's a different one than earlier.
Yeah, it's a different black and white one.
This one has more white.
This cat, when he was a kitten, was very hideous. And nobody believed that he was going to be handsome. Everybody was like, that cat is
He's
hideous.
handsome.
And I was like, he's going to be beautiful. I believe in him.
I think his last name is Oreo.
Oh, he's Kermit the kitten.
Okay, let's. All right. Oh, sorry. Go on, Kermit. Go.
One of the best things in life is cat hair and lip gloss. It is phenomenal. I highly suggest it. There you go, Linda. That was for you, baby. That was for you.
Mr. Kermit. Well, there's 10 cats in this house.
Yeah.
Mostly black cats.
All right, it's time to play a game. Let's play a game.
Kermit, what a cool name. Kermit is beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
I'll tell you guys a story of why his name is Kermit. I do love the Muppets. That's true. But a week before I found Kermit, I found another cat. Actually, I didn't find it. She found it.
Oh, you
and
mean
she
the
came into
famous
the
frog
kitchen.
story?
She came into the kitchen, and the cat was like a little baby kitten. And she came into the kitchen, and she had it like this, and she was like, Jen.
I didn't know if you wanted key calls. So I was like,
Yeah.
Jen.
So she's like,
Jen.
Jen.
I was like
And
whispering it.
I don't know why, but I thought it was a frog.
For some weird reason, you thought of frog.
She often catches frogs.
But I don't bring them in the house.
You know, but I don't know. That my mind works that way. So I thought she had a little frog because it looked so tiny, and she was like, Jen, and when she opened her hand, it was
Miss
cat.
Lucy.
It was a cat. So I said to her, if the cat's a girl, I'm going to name it Lucy. If it's a boy, I'm going to name it Kermit because I thought originally it was a frog and I love the Muppets. But it was a girl, so I named her Lucy. A week later, we found Kermit and he was a boy, so I named him Kermit. So that's how that happened. Okay, so we're going to play a psychic game, everybody. I hope you're all excited and ready to go. Okay, I'm thinking of a shape. I'm going to hold this up. It's on this card. I'm looking at it right now. It is a shape. I'm really concentrating on this. And if you guys can get this, you're going to win because this is kind of hard. You're going to win a 20-minute reading. Now, don't give them any hints. I don't even want to show it to you because she'll give you
You don't show it to me. I'm horrible.
She will give you hints. She'll be doing she'll be drawing the shape in the background. The first person, she always tells me my questions are too hard when I ask questions. She'll be like, that's too hard. So I'm going to concentrate.
Okay, so far Linda says diamond.
Okay. Everybody needs to guess who's in this.
I was getting like an oval, like an egg.
Okay.
And me, it was a circle.
No, not a circle, like an oval.
Alia
like
says circle.
like kind of like
Mahima says circle.
Okay.
I think.
No, oval.
Oh,
She's gonna smack
sorry.
you. Oval.
like an egg or
Like an
something.
egg.
Sorry.
Like the shape of my perfectly symmetrical face.
Alia.
I don't.
Thank
I'm
you.
terrible at
It's a
shapes.
circle.
That's
Sorry.
okay. Okay, if nobody gets this, then I'll just do something else. But I hope.
Okay, a heart.
Okay, go ahead, everybody. Keep going. I'll let you know when you get it right.
You guys are too funny. That's what Linda said.
Thank you, Linda. We try.
Kermit and Jack are having an issue.
Oh,
Jack wants to play with him, and Kermit's like, heck no.
This screen is gonna fall right down, and you guys are gonna see my messy house. This is an illusion that I've created for you
It's an
guys.
illusion. We're still in the middle of like trying to get this house resettled.
Yeah.
That's why we moved downstairs.
All right, you guys. You're lucky that I put on clothes and makeup because I was legit gonna be in my bathroom. All right, everybody. Is everybody done guessing?
You guys, a four-leaf clover,
No.
a zigzag.
A zigzag.
When this is four-leaf clover, Alia says a zigzag.
No, it's you guys. When I show you what it is, you're all gonna be like, "Damn!" I'm gonna give everybody one more chance. I'm concentrating really hard.
A square.
No.
I think shapes are hard because there could be so many.
I know, but this is a basic shape.
Circle?
It
No,
says,
no.
swiftly lines. Maybe it should be swiftly. Alia says a triangle.
Okay, let me know when you guys are done guessing, and I'll show it to you.
I can't even think of names of shapes, let alone. Oh, what you did.
Okay, are you guys ready?
A squiggly line or a diamond.
Okay.
Linda says.
All right, ready, you guys? You're all giving up. I'm going to show you what it is now. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you saw it.
I'm being really good because I was gonna slip a few times.
A star.
A star.
A star.
A star is born.
Star. Okay. Because you guys are such good sports, we're going to do an easier one. I'm going to name a state. Just kidding.
Oh, Hallron said star. I missed that.
Oh, did he say
Yeah,
star?
Hallron got it.
Oh,
Sorry.
Hallron, you got it. Star.
He got it. Yeah, he got it. He said, sorry, Hallron. I totally missed it.
All right,
Hallron
Hallron,
got it.
you won that
He
one.
got it.
I was using
Hallron
my
got it.
antenna.
Sorry, I missed that because I didn't see anyone typing for a while, so I didn't know.
Okay,
Yeah, he
so
said about
Hallron
5
won
minutes.
that
He
one.
said about 5 minutes ago.
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
Hallron, you got
That's
star.
my fault.
I should have drawn a potato. Hallron, you got star.
That's wrong right there. You're mocking someone's past
I
life.
know, I'm sorry. Well, I was an assassin. I'll cut you. Pizza. Oh,
Okay,
man.
Hallron said I guessed it.
He did. So
He did.
Hallron, you have 20 minutes free psychic reading. Okay, I'm gonna give a 10-minute psychic reading away. And I am going to write down a number from 1 to 10. I'm gonna write it down. So you guys, I'm writing it down now.
Jack, there's a dog you can play with right underneath there. Leave the cat
Okay.
alone.
And the first person who guesses this is gonna get a 10-minute reading. Let's go.
4,
No.
7.
Alia says 7.
Nope. You and Ali said the same thing at the same
Yeah.
time.
Linda said 3.
Nope.
I'm checking. I'm checking.
9. 9. 9.
Any guesses up there?
This is exciting. Somebody's gonna get it soon.
No.
Well, you
No barking.
didn't do 8 again, did you?
No.
God, I've guessed everything. 10.
Not everything.
Oh, Alia says 8.
No.
1,
Nothing new from Hallron yet.
2.
Mahima got it.
That was hard. I wasn't Mahima.
Mahima.
That's my day of birth. That's my birthday.
I don't know.
Is it what is your birthday?
October 2nd.
2nd.
Yeah.
I know you're.
Well,
a
Mahima
Libra.
got it at number 2 because Linda got the next to us was 6, and
Okay.
I haven't got anything from Facebook. So.
Okay. So
I mean Facebook. I mean YouTube.
Okay. So Mahima, you won 10-minute reading. Wait. Who won? Who said number 2?
Mahima.
I did.
Okay. Sorry.
Who's on first?
I'm not even remembering what I'm saying at this point. Okay. So
I think Linda said my birthday is October 12th. Mahima, my birthday is October 12th.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, okay. Oh, you said that. Okay. So,
Linda said that, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, Mahima, you won 10 minutes. Hallron,
20 minutes.
you were in 20 minutes. I will get with you guys to discuss your free time that you will use. So thank you guys for playing psychic games.
I've never seen you wear a bracelet as much as you wore that one.
I love this bracelet.
You do.
Normally I hate these
Yeah, I
bracelets.
know. That's what I mean. I've known you for
because
years.
They're
I've never.
these like stretchy.
I like a stretchy bracelets.
I don't usually like them because they usually pinch my skin, and also I've got a fat wrist, so these bracelets are usually uncomfortable. But this one has like
Just
a
be
nice,
raw. Just be raw.
nice. I'm just being honest that I have fat wrists. I'm sexy, succulent.
Yes.
So
Don't let a cannibal hear that.
don't let a cannibal hear that.
You just selling yourself.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, but I like this bracelet. Also, it's very grounding. So like these stones are the lava stones. So whenever you're feeling anxious or whatever, you can just kind of like.
I was gonna say, don't pull it like you did your stress thing where you busted it that time.
I was having an argument with somebody. I had one of those little stress things, and I was having an argument with somebody one time, and it was so funny because I had an e-cigarette that didn't have any nicotine in it. It just had like the flavor. So I'm doing this and I'm squeezing this and I'm having the argument with somebody and the thing popped because I was so
bursted
like,
right
annoyed
around.
with that person that it was like
So,
it was filled with water and the water went everywhere.
what are little minions?
Little minions and water. It's not good. So that was a thing. All right, you guys. This was a fun show. Thank you, Mahima, for filling time because, like
Oh,
I
it was fun. Yeah.
there's not a lot to talk about. You and me have to do a show one time. We'll find something fun and sassy to talk about. If anybody else wants to do a show with me, you're welcome. I'm totally open. You only have to pay me $500 for the hour, and we will totally do a show together on whatever you want. It'll be great.
Linda wrote, "Thank you for the awesome class, Jennifer, and your amazing assistant, Anita. She needs a raise. I need to learn how to read. My dyslexia sucks."
Because you never went to
Look, Kermit. He's like, "I'll just be right
if
here.
we
I'll
get
knock over
disconnected,
this."
it's because I have a cat behind my computer.
Yeah, Kermit
So
is.
he may or may not do something.
Thank you, Mahima. Thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
Thank you, both Jens.
Yes. Thanks for joining us for this haphazard show full of cats, dogs, and everything.
Oh my gosh.
My microphone.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Well, we're getting near full. We're getting near full moon. You know, so
Are
you're
we-
feeling the pre shadow of full moon.
We're getting near the full moon. We're getting toward the pre-shadow phase.
Well, that makes sense to why this was starting out.
Cats are feeling it.
Yeah.
And lots of Neptune and Pisces energy, which is very woo.
Yeah. Pisces is very emotional.
Yeah, very emotional.
Very creative, very emotional.
If you're taking supplements, or you like if you take caffeine or you drink, and with a lot of the stuff that's going on now, it will have a stronger effect on you. I'm having to cut back on supplements because I can tell they're like really like it's like on steroids. So I cut back.
I drink a lot of coffee.
Are you feeling that?
Not for a normal person.
I drink 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day.
Are you feeling that it's stronger for you now?
No, I haven't noticed that yet. But I'm a ninja, so I
okay.
get affected by things.
No.
Cut you.
That's good.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it, you guys. Thank you for coming on and enjoying this show. Every week I ask questions.
Linda said, "Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Mahima. Yes, I feel extra strong caffeine."
Yeah. Oh, that's I need to get some extra strong caffeine. But next week will be another live show. I'm gonna put a poll. Actually, you know what? Screw that. I'm not gonna do that. I have a bunch of suggestions. Next week's show is gonna be about the 5 love languages and what they mean.
Oh, that's interesting. 5 love languages.
He gave me that idea. You want to be on that show with me, baby?
Is your love tank being filled?
My love tank is empty.
Well, I mean, you don't. It doesn't have to be a man. You know, like you have a roommate. You can help fill each other's love tanks. But need to know what each other are.
What is your love language? What kind of love language do you want? I don't know.
Go online and take a quiz, you guys, this week.
Oh, you can take a quiz?
Just type Google to quiz for love languages, and you can find out what your love language is, and then
I'm gonna find out what my love language is, and then I'm gonna tell you guys what it is, so you can all do it.
Yeah.
And then I'll do it for you.
And have other Jen do it too, because since you're in the same place, then like if you got her a present and her love language is words of affirmation, then presents don't mean that much to her, you know.
I definitely understand what you're saying. I'm gonna take the quiz. I'm gonna also find it and share it with you guys. But that's gonna be next week's show: is what your love language is and what it means, and how to get your love tank filled, and how to clean out the tumbleweeds of your love tank and repair the holes. Spackle it up if you need to, or remove the padlock, so to speak. Also, I want to say to you guys that I prepared a whole thing for you guys, and I'm in the midst of kind of putting it all together. But it's basically how to find your true love, or 10 steps to find your true love, and you'll be able to access it if you follow me on my mailing list. But I don't know.
I needed that about 6 years ago.
I know. Well, I'm sorry. 6 years ago, I was not as smart as I am now. 6 years ago,
I think we all grow.
Yeah,
6 years.
hopefully
I think
we
we're
do
all
grow.
smarter 6 years. I think
I
I
want to
hope
get
so.
a lot of wisdom and just not age.
Yes.
She's so cute hiding underneath your
I
desk
know,
like that.
my little Hope. She's such a cute little dog. She's got the tiniest ears. But anyway, guys, thank you for. I just could talk all night. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. All the love. Oh, and let me just tell you guys, thank you so much for watching the hours of video on this channel, the Psychic Emergency Room. Thank you for all the hours of video that you guys have been watching to help get to the 4,000 mark. And that's been like hugely appreciated, and I just really appreciate you all kind of pitching in and leaving it on overnight.
Lois said, thanks, it was interesting.
You're welcome, Lolo. I'll fill your love tank anytime.
Oh, God.
All right, guys. I will talk to you in the next show. Thanks for everything, Mahima.
Bye-bye. It was fun.
All right, bye. I'm going to figure out how to end this meeting. There it is.
Yeah.